Hi, in today's video, we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make an exit pop-up using Thrive Architect and Lightboxes. What I want to show you first is we're going to be looking at the Thrive Architect area here on a page that I set aside that pushed Thrive Architect. And what you're going to do is you're going to get light boxes that look like this that'll pop up when people try to exit. If that's the trigger we want, it look like that and this. And that's what this is about today, is how to make an exit pop-up using Thrive Architect and Lightboxes. And I'm going to show you how to edit them, where to put your PDFs once you've created them, how to link it up, and you create a finished product such as this, where people can put in the email address and then get your free PDF and you get the email address. That's today's video, a tutorial on how to make an exit pop-up using Thrive Architect. Let's move into the training next. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get your tools ready, get your tools laid out so that you have these set to go before you do what I'm going to show you what to do. You want your PDFs set up. You want to have them created, which is a lot of work in itself, but you want them ready and available on your computer to go. I'm going to close that one, or the second PDF. These are the two we're going to be using today. These are the PDFs. You want to have your PDF or your PDFs set to go before you start. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to have an account set up in either Google Drive or Dropbox, or maybe something like Microsoft OneDrive. Get these accounts set up so that you're able to store your PDF on these storage sites. So once that's set up, you've got the PDF set up. This is the second part. Third, you're going to want to have your website set up. So I have Thrive I have Thrive Lightboxes, I have a Thrive Product Manager, and a Thrive Dashboard. So that's already set up on my WordPress site. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the editor, and then I'm going to show you how to use the editor for creating this whole thing. Let me introduce myself. I'm George from Digital High Road. I'd like to thank you for watching the video today. Hang on, we'll be talking about how to set these light boxes up as pop-ups. If you do get some value from this video, please give us a thumbs up, like it, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel as you go through the video. We'd appreciate your subscription, and hit the bell icon as well to make sure you get notified every time I publish another new video. So let's move on into the details on how to edit the Lightbox. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to create a Thrive Lightbox for the purpose of putting it on some pages. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to Add a Lightbox, and we're going to add a title to it. And then once I've added a title to it, I'll publish it, and then we'll go to Thrive Architect. Okay, so the title isn't going to matter. It's only going to matter to you, so you know what Lightbox is for what Lightbox, whatever it takes for you to tell the difference. So I'm going to publish this, and then once that's published, this is all live. We're going to hit Thrive Architect, and that's going to open a page here, which is going to be totally blank at this moment. Okay, now I want you to do content here. It's a Lightbox. What we're going to do is go over here to add an element. And I think I'll do an image first. So I'm just going to put this in here. And it's going to want to know what image. And what we're going to do is use our lead photo here. And then we're going to come over here. This is already set up from the last one, so we're going to insert that in the post. Now that's going to look like it there. Now I want to take this caption out, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to save my work, and I'm going to keep saving my work just so I don't lose anything. Now, this also looks a little bit out of place here. So I'm going to pull this back up, go to my layout, and I'm going to click on center down here, and I'm going to save that. Okay. Now, once that's done, I want to add a lead generation. Okay, and let's put up here lead. That'll bring the block up here. Now I want this below the image. And now it's going to give you templates here. You can pick anything you want. There's different things, different needs. I personally want to keep it very simple. So I'm going to come down here to my favorite form, Form 9. Now, that pops this up here. And we're going to go to main options. Now, this is going to be, all I want is the person's email in trade for this here. So what I'm going to do, this is already clicked on here. I'm going to add a connection. Now, this is going to be, I have get response is where I have my list. I want the site placement list. I'm going to apply that. Now that's, when they get the email, it's going to be collected from get response to that email list. What I want to do is I want to add a form right here because we want to have a GDPR form. I have to come over to this arrow here and I want the GDPR checkbox, and then I'm just going to save that, and you'll see, oh, okay, I forgot to apply. Now you don't want to check this off because if you check this off, then they won't have to check it off to get it. So I have to apply. Now that's there. Now that's what I want. So I'm going to save my work on that. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to come back up here. We're going to edit the form. And then I'm going to click into this here. And what I want to do is add a link. I just highlighted that. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put my mouse here and write in privacy policy. Okay, now I slid down here. I want to separate this. And then I want to highlight this right here. Actually, I want to separate this too. I want to highlight this, and this will pop up here where I want a link. Now I have to come over here and open up my toolkit where I have my privacy policy link. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. You want to do that. Have that set to go before you start to. Or you can just take the time to dig it up. However you work, that's fine. Okay, that's in there. I'm done editing. And then I want to save my work. Okay. Now, I want to preview it to make sure everything looks cool on. That's on the phone. This is on the laptop. Everything looks good. And then we'll come back here to what's going to show up on the computer and on the desktop. At that point, then, what I'm going to do is I'm coming back here. I'm just going to update this. And then we're going to go back here and reload this. Okay, now there's where to place my weather station. That's my new Lightbox. Now the next step was we're going to go to the page and actually add the pop-up. Okay, so there is two things I forgot to do. We have to put in some text, and we'll put some text right below this. And then what I did was I wrote the text out, and then we'll copy and paste this in. Copy this and then paste it in here. And then highlight this, and we'll bring my font up that I use and apply that. And then we want to make this larger. And then I'm also going to center this. And then I also have color. I have color prepared as well. And then we'll put the color in right here. And I'm going to delete that and put the color in. So this matches up the colors with the rest of the work I've done. There. And then I think we'll bolden this as well. Now this will all be to your own liking, whatever you think and whatever you want to write as far as what works best for you. And once this gets saved, then we'll add one more thing of text. There it is. And I'll add one more thing of text here. I want to make sure I did this right for you so you can get everything. Okay, there's text, and I have another script here that I wrote. We'll copy and paste the same thing in here, and then we'll get the same color. And I'll pause, it won't waste time. Okay, so I did the same thing here. I matched up the color for the script here. For the text is the same color. And then what we're going to do is I want to notice this template. So I come over to this color here, and we're just going to type in the color that I'm using here for that as well. Okay, so that's saved now, and what I'm going to do is look at the preview for it, and that's what that's going to look like. Now this one obviously is different than the other one I'm using. So I'm going to use this on some more of pages on my site, and we'll show you how to do that and set up your delivery for your PDF next. Okay, I just thought through what I did here, and I forgot one very important thing with the Lightbox. Down here, we clicked on the form here. We forgot to do, we did the GDPR, we hooked up the GET response, but we have to have a URL, which is going to come from our Dropbox link for the report we want. So I've got the URL here. I'm going to copy and paste this into here, and then I'm going to save that. That's it for the Lightbox. Okay. If you like this tutorial using Thrive, I do have other videos for Thrive on my channel, Digital High Road. You can check any of the other videos out. Check this one specific video. That up in the upper right hand corner will be a link for the tutorial on how to build a landing page. This one right here, how to build a landing page using Thrive Architect. Okay, so next and finally we're going to add the event, add the pop-up to a page. I've got some pages early on that I want to add. So I'm just going to go to link for this page here. I'm going to hit Thrive Architect. It's going to pull this page up here. Now this is relatively easy to do. We'll go through a few steps. I think you'll follow along. We're going to come, we did the star here, or whatever, the gear. We're going to go to Advanced Settings. We want Page Events. And then we want Exit Intent, or we could do a timer. But we're going to do an Exit Intent. Now on mobile, it doesn't pop. This will not work on mobile the way we're going to set it up. But there is, what they do on mobile is they have a preset for 10 seconds, or you can change it to as long as you want. If the person's on the page that long, it'll pop up. Then hit continue. Then you want to open your Thrive Lightbox. And then this will give you choices over here of the 3 light boxes that we have published. This is the new one. So I want that one. This will give you choices of the animations. We're going to leave it on instant, but there's other choices you could click on here too. We're going to leave it on instant automation, then save it. And then we want to add the event, what we just set up. That's going to be added to the page now. We're going to save that. Okay, I'm going to come back to the page. I'm just going to update this to make sure that it's cool. And once that's done, I'm going to go to that page. I'm going to hit View Post, and I'll show you how this works real quick. Now, this is the page that I just put the pop-up on. Now, the pop-up wasn't on here before. And you can see as long as I'm looking at this page, it's not going to pop up. But if I come up here to try to leave, oh, there it pops up. Now this is the new one we just did. And what happens is you can put an email address in here and try to submit it, but it's not going to work because I didn't check off the GDPR checkbox. I'll do that. And then it's going to take you to the Dropbox link for the report. And there's placing your personal weather station, which is what I wanted. And then we can download that if you're a customer and download that to your account. And then you have the PDF for free. And I have your email address at that point in time. So that's our tutorial today for how to make an exit pop-up using Thrive Architect and Lightboxes. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some value from the video. If you did, please give us a large thumbs up, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel while you're at it, and also hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I publish a new video. So that's some more tips and tricks from our channel, Digital High Road. Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to check our links out down below in the description. There's a course there which is worthwhile, very inexpensive, cost of a cheese pizza. There's a link for that course down there to get you started in making your own money online. Thanks for watching today. God bless.